Okay, so welcome to the Systems of Life, Dream Time to Real Time. My name is Lyndon, and this is an April 2022 update. Look, a lot's happened, and it's going to be hard for you to keep up with me at the pace I go. It's hard to comprehend, all right? So I just want to give you an update as we go. So far, I've got a little bit of a list here to get through to simplify things for you. So I've released The Great Resignation, about a 5-minute clip, The Work-Life Line, about a 15-minute clip, and I've just released my best clip, half an hour, tying it all in for teenagers, part of this, Lyndon's 2022-2040, E equals everything here, okay? The 6 systems of life, the culture tests, and the evil traits. And I went over this on that last half an hour clip on Lyndon Anley-Zark Mastery, Systems of Life on YouTube, and it ties all this in. So every single person I've ever met in my life and everyone I know, I'm watching how they react to all this. So it's been an interesting experiment. A few people are avoiding, I'll just be plain, they don't want to support me. All right, so either supporting or sabotaging, helping or hindering, and I went over this in a Teenager's Edge clip for teenagers to watch how adults that I know are treating me and adults that I don't know. And what they're doing is they're going around these clips on, say, LinkedIn, Lyndon Anley-Zark, on LinkedIn, and they're clicking on the wild animal clips, they're clicking on the outback clips, but they won't touch the human, helping human clips, all right? Do they not care? What do you think that is? I think I know what that is, because I know these humans. So that's very, very interesting. But look, it's a dream of mine, absolute dream, so I can't wait. There's one person interacting with me, Jody, thank you, on YouTube. Awesome. I hope it's not a fake name or anything, but anyway, there it is. And I think I've got one follower on Lyndon's Cales Crossing Adventure. I set that up for Cales Crossing out here on the East Alligator River to put all those clips up on Instagram and on YouTube. So that's been released. I'm very, very happy with it. I just had to separate that so that people don't get confused, okay? Wow, I've got a bit to bounce off today. So we're heading back to the Work-Life Line, Great Resignation, and Teenager's Edge. It's the best clip I've done. I want you to watch how people are reacting to that, okay? And whether it's going to be positive or negative in that area. 3 podcasts have been released. Humans, are they worth helping or not? Podcast 1. One person has said that's a big topic, and thank you for saying that, and no one else has touched it. The second one is that perfect humans don't exist, and I needed to go over that for people that are going to criticize you for not being perfect in life, so I can protect you and also protect myself there, and also start on a very accurate point on a map called Genuine Factual Reality, GFR, your blood pressure, for instance, all right? And that way you can map an accurate path at your pace in your life with your goals, with your genetics. Otherwise, if you start being fake in the wrong area, every step you take is in the wrong direction. It's a fake plan, basically. So the podcast, this will go on the podcast. I'm just recording here on the phone and the camera at the moment, so this should be loaded up, hopefully. The audio might not be the best, but I don't care. I just can't spend too much time editing out here. I have way better things to do than that. So check out the podcast. This should be podcast 4. So humans, worth helping or not? No perfect human. The Outback podcast, a few people have clicked like on that one. And this will be the 4th one, April 2022 roundup. Yep, I went over my Cales Crossing, so all my outdoor work that I've been filming for 10 years there with people, fishing, really nutting out those fishing systems there from beginner, intermediate, advanced, and through to mastery, okay? That's part of my Natural World project I have. And it's on YouTube, so Lyndon's Cales Crossing Adventure, CAHILLS, Cales Crossing. All right, and that's an epic place, that one. And I'm on TikTok as well, so Lyndon Anley-Zark on TikTok. Now I had 100,000 hits last night. It's finally gone boom, and that was with a truck crossing a river. Now this is really interesting. This is one with human behavior you need to go and have a look at right now. So the human behavior experiments start. So I took a while to think about the exact heading I was going to put there. The wording is deliberate, all right? And I'm getting criticized for my wording about a truck crossing a river. My God. And I think 230 people hit like on the guy that said you use the word attempting instead of crossing. Talk about focusing on the negatives here. So what is high performance? Remember this high and low performance thing I've always gone on about? High performance, low performance, slow performance, no performance. Positive, negative, the line. Good mental health, bad mental health. Good system of life, bad system of life. What's that group doing to me and why? It's just a truck crossing a river. Look, another person had good intentions. Don't think there's any malice in it, but they did pick up another negative instead of saying anything positive. They said, I picked out the wrong fish. I've got thousands of fish there. I program fishing there. I teach fishing there. I got the right fish. Don't worry about that. And I had to address that. But that's another negative. It's not a positive. And this is just a clip with a truck crossing a river. Far out. If you want a snapshot of where society is, go and have a look at the gender, generation and race, okay? White collar or blue collar, indoor office or outdoor worker, and you will understand so much more about culture in one clip just from those comments, okay? Then you will know here where you can go, how much time you can spend with them, and if you let them affect you or not, but what boundaries you have to set in place with that group to make sure they don't derail you down here. Okay, and if I'm talking like this about a clip where a truck crosses a river, imagine what they're going to start doing to me when I start talking about bullying, anxiety, depression, divorce, death by other means, domestic violence, stalking and suicide prevention, which I talk about in the Teenager's Edge clip and the work-life line. It's going to scatter them like falcons through a pigeon. What they're then going to try and do is stop me from talking. They're going to try and domestic violence through verbal, visual and virtual means, so they're going to try and tell me how I can talk, tell me what topics I can talk about, and just straight out coercive control. They don't have a plan to help humankind in the natural world, okay? So how can they outrank me or tell me not to talk? I only use ranking because that's the world they live in, negative pyramiding down here, okay? And I cover that in the Teenager's Edge clip on YouTube as well, bullying, the whole kit. So that's high performance, that's productivity, that's creativity, all right? No doubt about that. In the Aboriginal 65,000-year-old world out here I live and work in, okay? And I'll be buried in. That's high performance in sport with all my university assignments for Olympians or World Championships, competitors, Commonwealth Games, SAS candidates, the whole kit, rugby sevens, cricket, everything, all right? That's the Excel spreadsheet land, proven maybe in the 21st century, and back here is proven in the dream time, all right? Creation time. So it's really interesting. It's been an interesting month. I've got one follower on Carl's Crossing Adventures over there. My biggest clip was a truck crossing a river. Far out, I might as well be next to cat videos and bikini girls or board short guys. So that tells you a story as well. So if the clips to help humankind and the natural world aren't the number one clips in the world, that's the reality of humans and society and how many people actually care. All right, a bit more of a list to get through. So self-control, assessment as opposed to judgment, positive or negative. Assess that Lyndon Anley's on TikTok clip out with the trucks going through the water and make your own mind up about those humans when you meet them in life and how you're not going to let them derail you mentally or physically because they're confident enough to have a go at me straight up like that, not even knowing me. Okay, I don't get on their side and go and have a go at them. Okay, so let's be clear who's putting a ball up or a grenade and serving it when and I deserve a return, a serve there. Okay, it's my site, my rules. Oh yes, 15-year pause on this one. Lyndon's fishing, dream time to real time, collecting fishing history and evolution and mapping systems out, which includes perfect marks at university, okay, from beginner to advanced. Now, I put a behaviour clip in that there's been so much bullying, intimidation and harassment that we get abused out for not out in our front yards here in Outback Australia for not giving people our fishing information for free. It's gone toxic, that scene, absolutely. And it's not the scene I grew up in on Aboriginal cattle stations with mum and dad out there fishing and absolutely loving it. But since the social media realm has come along, posting a big fish photo, I think it's making up for some inadequacies in their life. They don't like their job, they're insecure, they don't know how to behave as humans to be good to people in the outdoor world. And the outdoor world is the 5th link in a 5-link chain of life, so it's very important that we keep that part friendly, because if you can't go outdoors in the outback and relax, man, it could be the last straw for someone. So you don't want a bad interaction out there. But I've got to the point now where I pull people up because I'm no longer going to let them push me down that pathway there. So I've had enough. I pull them up now. Whether they think I'm abrupt or not, I'm not going to suffer poor physical and mental health because of that group. So I'm looking for a totally different group now to restart, reboot, refresh, rebuild, maybe fishing 2022 to 2040. So families, if you're interested, teenagers especially, young adults and those in high performance, or you want higher performance, keep an eye out for Lyndon's Fishing, Dream Time to Real Time, Instagram and YouTube. I've made a whole separate site for you, a separate site for those who love the outdoors, like Carhill's Crossing and the Crocodiles, Lyndon's Carhill's Crossing Adventure. And those of you that want clips like this, personal development, it'll be Lyndon and Lizark Mastery, Systems of Life, okay? I've started tour guiding in the outback, cultural tour guiding with Aboriginal Australians, absolutely epic in Kakadu National Park, World Heritage listed for its cultural and natural world values, and Arnhem Land, so just special for me, so it's really cool, really happy. I'm getting the silent treatment. Here's another update from 3 people at the moment. One I've worked with for 15 years, he better not be stealing my work. It's all over this. As soon as I have my goal to achieve, I've gone through some really tough times, nearly died getting this information, okay? And some of them I've helped with giving them money, helping them out with their health, okay? And they still don't call when I'm doing my restart, reboot, refresh, rebuild. So imagine if I pass away today or next week and I identify them, their full name, and then you say to them, you weren't calling him, and you call yourself family or friends or co-workers. What were you thinking? What type of person are you? And you go and you spend all your time on social media all day, and that's worth more than a life. You're worried about leaves in your lawn instead of someone's life, getting the car to the car wash. So have a think about the type of human you are. This might be Australian specific behaviour. Let me know if it's happening all over the world, but prepare yourself. I'm preparing you, okay? If you're here to get through this, you go up and down like the tide. Like week 2,408 I have over there, all those tides, trying to synchronise and master one cast for one fish, okay, very technical. And you need to be strong enough to have family members drop off, or just say it's too hard to help you. Have friends do the same thing over a word, yet the friends can criticise everything you do, and you don't pull them up, but you say one thing that offends them, and all of a sudden it's no talk zone. And the same with co-workers, like most of them won't care. Let's be really honest, all right? I'm lucky I'm in culture, they do care, and I moved to culture for that, to find that, all right? So you're gonna go through tough times, and I'm specifically thinking of people I've helped in mining here. Some don't get back up out of the trough, and it's one little straw that breaks the camel's back then, and you don't know you're there, you don't know you're sliding down the negative health pathway. You're in the fog, can't make good decisions, your family and friends don't know what to do, and people just scatter and leave you. And then all the addictions start, and all the, you might do things you would never normally do, okay? But that's what family used to be back in the day, before houses were more important than families now, and money and all the rest of it. So it's really weird. It's a weird scene. We're 20 years into a change in Australia where house prices doubled again. And I've watched the real money-based society, an entitlement-based society, a judge, jury, and executioner-based society, and the family homes moved away from a place to raise a family to now people are talking about how much it's gone up at barbecues. It's just sick. You can't get away from talking about money. And I look at it and go, oh, they all think they're on the stock market and Jedis now. So it's really weird. I'm embarrassed to say it's happening in Australia. It's a massive cultural loss. And in some areas, I'll still stick to my quote, that it feels like we've lost 80% of a certain part of goodness we had in culture 20 years ago. We've improved in others, yes. And I tell you what, we need to take a leaf out of Aboriginal Australians booking 65,000 years of culture and getting on, and family and going home. And they're very beautiful people, they help people out. They're mentally, there's no stigma about going home and spending time with family. But I've really noticed that there's a stigma now in the other population where you're seen as a loser and you're a Jedi because you haven't got all this money, job, money, car, house, Jedi thing. So there's something going on. The reason I'm talking to you about this is this type of sickness reaches us in the outback. And then people start having a go at you, start having a go at people that are working hard, trying to deliver a product. Someone's used the C word on a young girl this week, working. Other staff have been crying in the outback. People have been getting abused, and there's this massive entitlement when we're very, very lucky in Australia. Free-flowing water, food, shelter, no wars on our border, no bombs being dropped, good medical, low unemployment, good wage. Yeah, so that's the update as of April 2022. I just wanted to also put a mental health alert out there for waiters, cafe staff, people in tourism, okay, cleaners, bus drivers. There's just been a lot of abuse over 2 or 3 years, and a lot of people appear to be broken. Once people start crying, we're getting towards being broken now, and consistent crying, sworn at, abused, and the more and more people, I've talked with people from a few different nations over the last few weeks, just socially, and they're all seeing a disturbing, more aggressive, more entitled lack of, well, not a culture, it's culture cancer. And so this, look, I'm not saying this from a point of view of criticism. This is the feedback I'm receiving, because this is a work, this is a job I do in my own time, this job here, okay, and it's disturbing for me, because I keep trying to say Australia was a friendly country, or is, and they keep saying, well, we're not having that experience. And you got people from psychologists saying that, to people who work on farms that say that, to people who work in offices, to people who work in, cleaning or whatever. And so it's just coming from a lot of different realms. There's something going on in Australia. We have a platform that we could launch and be the best country in the world at anything we do. And looks like in the online era, the government is going to tackle that era and give us the full family names of people that bully, intimidate and harass and push people to suicide, which has happened here in the outback, okay? But I'm worried, definitely worried, and hence why I'm sitting here doing these clips. And for doing these clips, I'll be attacked. How about that? And if that happens, we don't have a culture in that area, all right? So I'll still back my clip up from last week, that out of all the, maybe I've met 1 million people in my life, not one of them will call for a conversation. I'm not asking you to call or anyone else, but I'm just letting you know how many people truly care about natural world and humankind. None of them call for a conversation about that. Or if I do have a conversation about that, it's 2 to 5 minutes, or you'll have a conversation and you have silent treatment. Okay, so, but I am allowed to talk about water cooler conversations, fishing, beer drinking, being dumb, the latest clip that's got 1 million hits online. So it's really hard. And so what happens is you can't have the conversation with anyone for a couple of minutes, but you'll have a lot of people drop off over 7 or 12 years, or even less, or 15 years. And a lot of people use your work, so you can't talk about your business. So it's super hard being a small business out there, or an entrepreneur. So I'm just giving you an insight, and you can look back at me and go, right, he's going through that in the outback, or in a city, on a country coast where I've lived, and he's in Australia, and it's supposedly a friendly first world sort of country. Wow, I better watch what I do in my life. So I'm trying to give you navigational tools to get you to where you want to go quicker, and identify the landmines quicker as well, or the vultures or the piranhas, okay? So there it is. That's the update. Still happy, still positive. I'm doing this clip here today, and I wish you all the best. But that's the update. 1 follower on Lyndon's Kale's Crossing Adventure on the East Alligator River on Instagram. I don't think I've got any followers on YouTube for it. 100,000 hits on Lyndon and Lizark on TikTok last night with a truck going through, which I'm getting criticised for a word I used, attempting instead of crossing, and then getting told I've identified the wrong fish, which I haven't. Getting silent treatment from 3 people, love it. What else is going on? Oh, and people I've known all my life won't say anything about the high level stuff I've done, because I've gone past them. Let's just be straight down the line. I've gone past them. I've offered them to work with me before and do things together, olive branches. I haven't beaten them with a stick or anything, and they won't even hit like, they won't say well done, they won't say whoa, I didn't realize you did that, because they're not interested in helping other people, all right? No matter how much they post it, they're not interested in the natural world, the 2 fundamentals to move humankind forward. And you only find this out when you have a job in this area, or when you have a passion in that area. People find it boring to talk about this, so what do you go back? Let's talk about beer, cigarettes, salt, sugar, processed food. Let's talk about the next splashback, couch, car, paint job. I mean, seriously, do you think people sat around talking about a cave wall all day as the topic and how much your cave wall went up. It's a created sport to distract people. 35 to life on a hamster wheel, $1.2 million for a first time house buyer in Australia, and sold as the dream. Talk about fake and reality. The dream, 35 to life, 2 parents at work, never see your kids. We've gone so far down that path, it should have been pulled up way earlier, okay? And that's the monetary path, and it's going to be very interesting seeing the fallout when interest rates go up, okay? And when they go up, you're going to go through tough times, and when you go through tough times, you're going to like the high tide and low tide. You're going to need to be a very resilient person, have a support network, and have a good, functional, healthy system of life, all right? That's how it all ties in. 2 billion thoughts, 2 million word journey. I already know where it ends, okay? 200 headings, and these are a few headings here. But the best articulation of that, without a doubt, is that half-hour clip on Teenager's Edge, 2022-2040, with this chart the other day, explaining the 15-minute work-life line presentation, which I put out the other day. And the only way you're going to move forward for the great resignation, okay, or for higher productivity, creativity, high performance, is to have a life-work line, or a work-life line, or a work or a life-study line if you're a student, okay, for Teenager's Edge. That's genuine, factual, reality, measured, and managed. So it's real. It's not talk. It's not leaves on trees. It's a superstructure there, okay, that I've shaken to pieces thousands and thousands of times, okay, 8,000 times over there alone, probably 10,000 systems drawn over there, okay. Anyway, it's just what I do. Take it or leave it. No stress to me. For the kings, queens, sheikhs, sultans, presidents, prime ministers, billionaires, and those in supreme high performance who want to go as far as they ever want to go in life, please just make sure you have a look at the people getting paid $1 million, the people paid $100,000 to be talk, none of this, all right? $10,000 a seat and $10,000 a personal development course. Have a look at them, then have a look at my work, and then have a real think about how much my work is worth. And when I talk to you in the future, I look forward to working with you. Cannot wait. That should really test me. That's going to be a cool challenge, not knowing the answer to everything, and just understanding the challenges you go through. Yeah, and if not, I'll just work with teenagers and kids or crocodiles and film that, and Aboriginal Australians, that profound culture I learn from every day, all right? So my life's fine. I've got 200 different topics, areas I can work in, all right? And yeah, I really do hope you take this on board, and it'll be a very, very interesting test who is around me as a support network at the end of this journey, for me doing nothing other than helping the natural world and humankind move forward. And it's very interesting. It'll be very interesting who penalizes me for doing that, who gets jealous, who can't control themselves, who wants me to act in a certain way, and who will say, oh, he's changed, and all this stuff. Seriously, but maybe it's just that path that I had that flushed all this behavior out, because I was either assessing it functionally from a productivity, creativity, high performance standpoint at uni, say, and conditioning and training and health and research and doctors, psychologists, all right? And I was assessing it with Aboriginal law, 65,000 years, and natural law when I film. And then I was assessing that full fallout when I watched people be pushed down that negative health cycle, and I saw the pattern over decades and decades. I went, right, that's a pattern. So bullying, say anxiety, depression, divorce, death by other means like fatigue, domestic violence, stalking and suicide, but the negative health pathway. I just made a pathway for it so it's a bit clearer in your mind, all right? The slippery slide, you're in the fog, don't know you're in it, don't know how to get off it, and friends and family often don't know how to get off it either, all right? So you need to be resilient for it, you need to be prepped for it, okay? And that's, I'll be talking about that in the future. That's the April 2022 update. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a good year. I've broken the back of what I wanted to do. I put a behaviour boundary in place for anglers, and they've been torturing, intimidating, bullying, stalking, all the rest of it for 15 years, some of them. So I've set a boundary at 46 years of age with that group, and I'm going to be criticised for doing that. That's Lyndon's fishing, dream time to real time. And it's a passion of mine. It's almost the impossible equation. I love working out that moon, tide and time chart over there, week 2408. All right. Lyndon's Carhill's Crossing, I've decided to separate the outdoors and that crossing because I have 10,000 clips there and 100,000+ photos to put up and see where that goes. It's good fun. And it gives a better tourism experience for us out here anyway, okay, and it'll help the local communities out here in the outback. And we need it after 2 or 3 tough years in COVID. And I have 600 followers on Lyndon and Lizark Mastery Systems of Life, which is where this clip is going to go, the Great Resignation Work-Life Line. This is where all these personal development, high performance clips, okay, mental health clips will be going. And I needed to keep them away from the outdoors scene and that sort of fishing scene, totally separated. You might be frustrated with their behavior, so I separated them for your benefit so these can line up in a row for you, okay? And remember, I don't owe you anything for free either. Remember, just not get that bullying process between you and I going, all right? Let's just be clear. A click doesn't make it an even trade or transfer for 400,000 hours of knowledge, all right? And some of this stuff will have many zeros in the end of it as well. And some of you kings, queens, sheikhs, sultans, presidents and prime ministers, you'll be realizing that right now just by the way I'm talking. Okay, that's it. Looking forward to it. But I'll reiterate that mental health alert and the outdoors. Please don't travel around Australia abusing cleaners, chefs, tour operators, road houses. If you can, just be kind and mindful, realizing that they're short of staff, working so hard they're nearly broken, all right, and you'll turn up and abuse them. That'll be the last straw. They'll go and then leave the whole business. So we need a year of gratitude, I think. After that, 222, 223, we don't need a year of abuse with people with like $2 million houses, couple of $200,000 cars, $150,000 caravan, and all the rest of it are four-wheel drive. If you can, be mindful that it could be the last straw for that person, and they might have just worked in 37 to 43 degrees all day. They might be 70 years of age, 60, 50, 40, 30, 18, and you know, we want to retain the good parts of our culture here. We don't want to be seen as an entitled, abusive culture here. But for some in that, I'm trying to be diplomatic here, for some in that sector, they said it was the worst year in Australian history for abuse. Okay, and that's not cool. That was last year, all right. That's socially, people in that scene, they've told me that, all right. So we don't need, that as a culture, because that's not culture, all right. That's not culture on where I come from, Aboriginal land. That's not culture we have in high performance sport. That's not culture above the line, okay, for productivity, creativity, good family homes and all the rest of it, okay, to give people a good future. Anyway, I have to run, that's it. Check out my site. So if you're interested in Cahill's Crossing, crocodiles and adventure in outback, Lyndon's Cahill's Crossing Adventure on Instagram and YouTube. The name might change a tiny bit, but you'll be able to find that if you just want to zone out and you're not interested in helping humans or the natural world. Lyndon's Fishing, Dreamtime to Real Time. I've done a behaviour statement there, and I'm about to do all 4 layers right up to advanced and mastery there. As a project I've been working on for a long time as a strength and conditioner trainer, Olympic level coach, okay, qualified at university, okay. Merging that with 65,000 years of Aboriginal hunting. So if you're interested in that pathway from someone with these qualifications, and it's what I do, cool, check that out on Instagram and YouTube, and maybe even Facebook if you want, but I'm not doing too much on Facebook of late. And if you're interested in helping the natural world, okay, and humankind, so it'll be Lyndon and Lizark Mastery, something like that, Systems of Life, or Lyndon's Systems of Life on Instagram. YouTube's where I'm going to pop a lot of this up. And a combo of all of it is on Instagram, Lyndon and Lizark. Sorry, TikTok, get it right. TikTok, and that's that truck video if you want to check that out, and human behavior there. So maybe I'm kryptonite to this group due to the path I'm on, and it flushes everything out fairly clearly from an evolutionary standpoint with 13.8 billion years. If you look back that way, 65,000 years of Aboriginal culture, law, okay, as well, natural law entwined, or university performance psychology and physiology, or negative health, anxiety, depression, and suicide prevention in the workplace, and where it goes downhill in life to know the line, the bad path, to know the line, to hold it, and then plan the good path. So it's a rare field I work in. I haven't met anyone else in that 360-degree field, okay, and I hope I do, because you've just got no one to talk to about it if you do. It's a lonely journey. You've got to figure all this stuff out yourself takes a lot of time and an unbelievable amount of clear thinking time and processing time, and that high performance system is called Polar, one of them that I use, and that's the billionaires I'll be talking to, the kings, queens, sheikhs, sultans, okay, presidents and prime ministers about that, or maybe high performance coaches, who knows, rings for that one. But that's where I'm at with it all. That's my perspective. That is an update as of April 2022. The dream started. I've got all them kicked off. I feel better for it. It's super cool. Can't wait to see where it goes. I wish you all the best in 2022. I hope you use these tips to get you through the rest of life. And just a final recommendation, if you're never to look at any of my work again, okay, how could I help you? Probably the best way I could help you is that half-hour YouTube clip, that 2022-2040 restart, reboot, refresh, rebuild. That's just, I absolutely nailed that clip. I would be surprised if there's a better clip in 2022 than that for the whole 360 degrees of mastery, personal development, motivation, and preventing evil, knowing where the line is. That explains all this in one clip. If you never watch anything else again, that's fine. Like, I don't even have enough hours on that YouTube site. I did 3,000 hours, I think 4,000, I'm 1,000 short. So I'm not even going to get money from it. That's just a straight out free clip for you to get through life with. That'll help for sure. It's impossible not to find something in that clip to help you out if you're at least in control of your evil traits, jealousy and ego and things like that. I got to run. That's it. That's the update. That's Lyndon and Lizark here in the Outback live, chasing my dream. It's been hundreds of thousands of hours to get to the stage where I can actually do this. So I'm really happy. I've got that up and running in those 3 mediums. Hopefully this one is the most popular, because this is the one that's really super cool in the way of helping humankind and natural world when I tie it all in. But if animal clips are it, they're it. If cat videos are it, they're it. I didn't really want to go down the board shorts and bikini pathway. Oof, talk about going back to the Stone Age. But if need be to get that job done, maybe so, who knows? Hopefully not. But that tells you exactly where culture is. Then you can make your mind up, then you can navigate your life 99% clearer. And how cool is that? What a gift that is. I never had that gift 20 years ago. I gotta run. My name's Lyndon Anlizark. Please support what I do. Don't follow, support. Help someone out, help a family member out this week, a friend, a co-worker, okay? A lot of people at the bottom of the tide and you don't even know it. Just make sure you're there for them, okay, if there's one tip to take away. But have a great week. Thank you very much for watching my clip, and I wish you all the best in life. Thank you.